All right, we're going to talk some simple spawners to start off with. So as you can see here in the program, I've started off with just some sprite red, sprite green, and a cannon. And same thing down here with objects. And in the room, the only thing I really have in the room is object cannon. I'm going to go ahead and run it so you see what it looks like for a moment. I'll explain what's going on, and then we'll explain the spawners, and we'll make this a short video. So I've got a green projectile that apparently shoots out of the mouth of the cannon and just races to the right across the screen. It's not consistent when it shoots, and I'll show you that's a random anything under 5 seconds. And then as you can also see, there's a red projectile that I think I called bomb, and it's up in the air. It'll always spawn in the top half of the screen. It randomly appears wherever it wants, as long as it's on the top half of the screen. It lasts for 3 seconds, and then it disappears. So those are the two types of spawners that I've built just for this demonstration. So we'll X out, and we'll go take a look at them. So the spawner itself is the cannon. So basic concepts is I have one of the spawners running on alarm 1, and I have the other spawner running on alarm 2. So let's just take a look at the create functions. And all the create functions do is just do the initial set of the alarm. So alarm 0 picks a real number under 5 seconds. That's what random 150 does. Remember, frame rate is 30 frames per second, so 150 counts would be 5 seconds. All right, so this just picks a random number, a real number, can be a decimal, could be a fraction, under 150. Same thing here, except for this picks a random number between 2 seconds and 5 seconds, and that's what's called the random range function. All right, so alarm 1 runs the projectiles coming out, the green ones, and alarm 1 runs the bombs, and alarm 0 runs the green projectiles coming out of the cannon. So let's take a look at those two things. So these are just the projectiles coming out of the cannon. All it really does is say, create the projectile, which is the green one, and then reset the alarm. And so every 0 to 5 seconds, it just will reset itself, and it'll just continue to create green projectiles and reset the alarm. The red alarm is really no different. If I pull this up, same thing, create the other one and reset the alarm itself. And again, that alarm is 2 to 5 seconds. So spawner's not too hard. And then how the object reacts and what it does, we can look at the other one. So let's look at projectile. This is the one that's green and just races across the screen to the right. In a create code, I've just given it initial speed of 20, and I've told it direction is 0. Moving right is 0, 90's up, 180's left, 270's down. So that's really all that takes. Object bomb, just a little more interesting, but not much. So I've given it random XY positions. And so here's our code again. This time I've used iRandom range, and iRandom range means integer. So there are no decimals or fractions. So I've told it to use as X values, and this is left and right, the sprite's width, which it'll know on the lower end, and the room width minus the sprite width for the upper end. You could put in numbers for these, but this coding will work for any size room. Also, y equals iRandom range. Sprite height, remember, is at the very top of the room minus whatever the sprite height is. And then 0.5 times room height will only take me down to the halfway mark. If I went all the way to room height, it would spawn all the way down at the bottom too. And then the alarm just resets itself. So again, no big deal on that one either. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a different alarm. This alarm 90, all it does is make it disappear. So it just has an instance destroy in there when it's done. That's probably enough for today. Thanks.